They want a white boxing star. Yes, they do. Floyd said so. How fucking stupid does that sound? They want to create a white champion? So there's an agenda to have white champions, yet your boy AB gets to pick a Fugazi weight, come up with some last minute stall tactics, then get his ass tuned up by Sean Porter, then immediately fight for a title? But with Triple G, they're trying to create a white champion, yet AB gets gifted a WBO belt? There's no push for AB, right? Let's not talk about the fact that Triple G has a ridiculous knockout streak going. Let's just say that because his skin color is white, there's a conspiracy to have white champions. Yet AB gets gifted vacant title fight after vacant title fight. No hypocrisy there. Then they say people are being mean to Andre Ward. Let's leave out the part that he's trying to fight opponents that are 6 levels below your average cab driver, so the Nevada State Athletic Commission has to step in and prevent the fight to protect the integrity of the sport. No mention of that. Let's just call it a white conspiracy. Forget about the fact that Triple G is calling out every middleweight and has clearly stated that his goal is to unify the division. Has Ward done that? What weight is Ward even fighting at? Is it 168, 175, or some made-up division in the middle? Oh shit, pull the race card. Ward and AB should be able to create their own weight class. Now, if Triple G were to do that, then the powers that be would be racist, right? And what about Canelo? Granted, the dude looks Irish, but he's 100% Mexican. HBO is not pushing him, are they? They jacked him from Showtime because they want white champions. There's no fire behind Canelo. No HBO 24/7. No HBO face-off. Now I realize that some of it is all about hype. They don't care about quality. If the fight is not hype, it doesn't matter. Floyd said this about Manny. Ward said that about Gennady. AB said that about TMT. Floyd said this about AB. Ward dissed Triple G. Man, all that BS has nothing to do with boxing. Plus, people want to talk about Triple G's pay-per-view numbers. How many pay-per-views did Broner do his last fight? Who gets a bigger push than Broner? Dude comes off a loss and walks straight into a championship fight. He should have did at least 3 million pay-per-views, right? How many pay-per-view buys did Ward do against Paul Smith in that stadium with 50 people in attendance? But people want to be critical of Triple G's numbers? Then people are talking about the UFC. The difference is in the UFC, for the most part, there is a focus on putting together the most competitive fights that the fans want to see. Yes, of course they have some hype jobs. But look how many poorly selling pay-per-views the UFC has had. They've had several in the 100,000 to 200,000 range, just like Triple G. Hell, Daniel Cormier and Gustafsson just did 250,000 pay-per-view buys. Yet the UFC keeps consistent with putting on the best fights, and that is why the sport continues to grow. It has nothing to do with race. The main difference is the MMA fans don't spend their entire lives dissecting pay-per-view numbers like certain boxing fans do. They actually watch a sport because they enjoy it. People who say boxing execs are trying to pull the UFC crowd probably don't even watch a sport. Demetrius Johnson is black and the 125-pound champion. TJ Dillashaw is white and the bantamweight champion. Jose Aldo is Brazilian and the 145-pound champion. RSD is another Brazilian and the champ at 155. The 170's Robbie Lawler, and who knows what race he is and who cares. Chris Weidman is a middleweight champ and he's white. Daniel Cormier is a light heavyweight champion and he's black. And before him was John Jones, arguably the best UFC fighter ever. And guess what? Guess what? He's black. And at heavyweight is Fabricio Verdum, who's Brazilian. And before him was Kane, who's a Latino. People like the UFC for the most part because if you win, you move closer to the belt. It's not on some manufactured white championship type of shit like some people are claiming. Boxing fans seem to only care about pay-per-view buys and are critical if a boxer doesn't do 2 million buys. Everything Triple G does is for boxing. If he does 100,000 pay-per-view buys or 2 million, it reflects and brings revenue to boxing. You guys should be happy and thank Triple G. Who else is doing pay-per-view buys? If there comes a point where it's not profitable for networks to broadcast boxing, then they'll replace it with no problem and find something more lucrative. If you support boxing, then support boxing. Now what's up with this Triple G said Mexican style and that's racist? Yo, Floyd made his entire living off fighting on Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day. Dude wore a sombrero into the ring, which is fine, no problem with that. But how is it cool for him to do that, but when Triple G says Mexican style, it's racist? Or there's a white agenda? Straight hypocrites. Now everyone should be able to agree, racism is wrong. But look at the situation objectively, not from your subjective point of view. Of course networks are going to give an extra push to fighters who already are going full steam. If Triple G is on a crazy knockout streak, of course they're going to promote that. If Mayweather is on an undefeated streak, of course they're going to promote that, regardless of color. Put it like this. If Gennady walked into Floyd's gym and said, I just completed my contract with K2. I want you to promote me and your dad to train me. What do you think Floyd's going to say? Would he be like, nah, man, I don't want to be part of that white agenda? Hell no. He'd be like, yo, take my Ferrari as a signing bonus and sign the contract here. Now I know that the people that say there is a white agenda yet fail to recognize fighters of other races getting preferential treatment are the same ones that consistently say things about, for example, how much they hate Pacquiao, yet make videos about him every single day. To me, that's just all hypocrisy. Who cares? Hopefully, there's enough of us out there who like the sport and are not on some formulated hype.